And we don't want them telling us that we're a bunch of right-wing idiots because we demand that if our liberties are going to be taken away, that we have a seat at the table. You don't get to take my liberty away and just say, shut up and take it. Did you all see this? Ah! Wrong button! That's right, our favorite atheist, Richard Dawkins, had something smart to say. Let's take a look. We read, "You can argue over whether masks, hand washing, banning groups, etc. are effective. What you cannot argue is that you are personally entitled to take the risk as a matter of individual liberty. You risk others' lives as well as your own. It's just elementary epidemiology." Well, thank you so much for telling me what I can and cannot think, or can and cannot argue. I appreciate it. And Rich, what can I say, man? This is why you are a subject, and I'm a citizen, baby. Woo! But seriously, honestly, that's the kind of thinking that subjects do. But when you're a citizen and from America, and you recognize that individual liberty is the most important thing, but then you talk about it later on. Let's go. You can argue, wrongly, that the risk to others is small, just as you can argue, wrongly, that the risk to others from drunk driving is small. What you cannot argue, as many right-wing idiots in effect do, is that personal liberty is the only consideration that matters. That's a straw man. It's not just individual liberty that's important that stands, it's other people's individual liberty too. And together, when we all consider our liberty and other people's individual liberty, you see, here's how it works. When I, as an individual, am concerned with my individual liberty, I have to understand, as a matter of where it derived from in the first place, that everyone else has that same individual liberty. Okay? So I take my individual liberty as very seriously, and I take other people's liberty because I have to acknowledge they have the same liberty that I do, because it's derived from the same source. I have to acknowledge that they have that right to have that liberty as well. And together, by acknowledging our own and others' individual liberty, we have the group liberty. The group's liberty is preserved. The rights of the group are preserved if we take a look at the individual and ensure that their rights are preserved. When all you care about is the rights of the group, then the individual gets overlooked. And that's the difference between a subject, Dawkins, and a citizen. See, we hear the key point here, and he takes us here, is that personal liberty, first off, automatically personal liberty is not the only consideration that matters, because we know that due process of law takes away people's liberty. We know that happens. So we know automatically those that love liberty, individual, we know that is not the case. So that's a nice straw man that Dawkins loves. Dawkins just loves to arrogantly tell us what we can and cannot think, and then set up straw men so he can easily knock them down while he mocks us. The right-wing idiots. The white wing. Oopsies. That's not how it works. That's not a good argument, because I don't know anybody except the most profane moron. I don't know anybody who considers that the individual liberty is the only thing that matters. I don't know anybody who thinks that, because, like as mentioned before, if you acknowledge that the rights are derived from our Creator, and that's His problem. That's your problem right there. And this is why you don't want atheists like Dawkins being in charge of things, because they don't care about your individuality. They don't care about all they care about is the rights of the collective, and that's not how we do things. Our relationship with Jesus automatically makes it gives personal responsibility, because if you don't have personal responsibility, you can't have a personal relationship. And so we acknowledge, as Americans, that these inalienable rights were given to us by our Creator. They're not given to us by government, and as such, they cannot be taken away. If you're an atheist and you don't agree that there is a Creator, if you're an atheist, you don't even believe there's a Creator. So let alone saying that the rights and the liberties are derived from them, just doesn't compute. So in his mind, humans made up this whole idea of inalienable rights, and humans can take them away. So herein is the crux of the issue. We don't want people like this being in charge of public policy. We don't want them telling us what we can and cannot think. We don't want them telling us that individual liberty is not as important as the group identity or collective. That's just nonsense. And we don't want them telling us that we're a bunch of right-wing idiots because we demand that if our liberties are going to be taken away, that we have a seat at the table. You don't get to take my liberty away and just say, shut up and take it. No, that's why the Founding Fathers brought up the Second Amendment, which you don't have, which is another reason why you need to be a citizen, not a subject. You say that I can't consider my individual liberty as sacrosanct, as you cannot touch it, as non-fair weather rights, as Judge Stickman said in his recent ruling in the Pennsylvania lockdown orders. Beautiful, beautiful decision, by the way. You want to tell them that these personal liberties they can be taken away when things are bad. Oh, you can have them when things are good. Yeah, if it's nice out and there's no problems, go ahead and have freedom of speech and assembly and religion and the Second Amendment. Go ahead and all that. That's fine. But my goodness, if a comes or all we have to say is the word emergency, and experts say, and suddenly all those get taken away. Wrong, sir. And if you want that, do me a favor and stay in England. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Or don't. Either way. Thanks for watching.